Okay, my good friends, I have some exciting news. I was contacted by someone who is a Native American Cherokee, and he was tasked, apparently, now this is brand new to me, so later this morning we're going to do a Zoom meeting, and I am going to air that, not as it's live, but later. I'm going to find out what actually he's all about. Apparently, the way I understand this, is he was sent around the world to gather information of all the other cultures in relation to the Cherokee Nation. Now, who hired him to do that? I'm not sure. I think it was the government, but I'm not sure of that. I'm going to go into that. But as I woke up this morning, boom, they came up with this new species that they have found that actually had fire. And I started getting into that, but I'm just going to play a little bit of that, set you up for this. But we have found new species too. And the problem is that they don't understand the nucleophilic substitution process that creates the mud fossils. And this is a goose head, and his feathers and everything are preserved. This is soft tissue preservation. I understand the process intimately now. I've been studying it for 12 years or so after discovering what I discovered. So I'm really hopeful that he's going to be able to add a lot of spice to the stew. Good morning, my friends. I just got up, turned on the TV. Vlad Gutierrez from CBS Morning News is on, talking about a huge discovery in the cradle of human civilization. Now, let's see what he has to say. Now, Vlad is an anthropology buff, is his claim. Now, here he goes.
Return our understanding of human history. The discovery was made by researchers studying our pre-human ancestors in an area of South Africa known as the cradle of humankind. They now believe those ancestors may have had a head start in using fire as a tool. Deborah Patta shows us why that is so important.
Sometimes you just have to go upside down and turn around to see what's been right in front of you all along.
Don't make it look simple.
That's renowned paleoanthropologist Lee Berger talking to an orange-clad team member hanging upside down in the Rising Star Caves just outside Johannesburg. Dubbed underground astronauts, they've made a profound discovery.
We're in the tunnel.
Turns out humans are not so special after all.
Just because we've been by it 100 times doesn't mean we've seen it.
Nearly 10 years ago, Berger and his team first discovered a new species here, Homo naledi, one of our non-human ancestors.
Great work. Beautiful.
He drew sharp criticism for hypothesizing that the creature was deliberately placing its dead in a dark and dangerous underground chamber that no one believed was possible to navigate without light.
And the reason they didn't believe it was because Homo naledi, with its tiny little brain just bigger than a chimpanzee, couldn't have had fire.
The controlled use of fire was supposedly unique to humans. And for nearly a decade, his team found no evidence Homo naledi had used fire.
Well done, guys.
Until Berger lost over 50 pounds so that he could squeeze through those narrow corridors himself for the very first time in August.
My shoulders too.
It was torture all the way down.
Into the first chamber.
Exhausted, he finally reached the bottom.
And I looked up, and I realized the ceiling was black. It was burned. It was covered in soot. It had been right above our heads the entire time.
But you were looking down all the
But we
time.
were always looking down.
Undeniable evidence of fire. On that very same day, his lead investigator, paleoanthropologist Kanilwe Molopiani, was making another remarkable find nearby.
And then pieces of bone start coming out, burnt bone, and I'm just like, okay, all right, I can't ignore it anymore, right? Because as an archaeologist, you have to follow the evidence.
Burnt bones. They were eating there.
After that, they saw fire everywhere.
And I suspect, based on what we're seeing, they're not just carrying fire. I think they're making it.
The
They're
manufacturing
manufacturing fire. And it's done hundreds of thousands of years, perhaps, before maybe humans were doing it.
Berger believes believes that this discovery will challenge our assumptions about human uniqueness.
And it should give us pause. It should make us think deeply about the way we have placed ourselves on a pedestal as something special. Because homilities began to prove that it may have happened many times in the past.
We are arrogant as humans, though, because we think we're superior.
I mean, one of the reasons that humans are so harmful to the environment, to this world, is because we think we have some ownership of it.
For Molopiani, it's not just about a groundbreaking discovery.
For a very long time, archaeology and paleoanthropology, all these discoveries made in Africa, have been made by men.
White men.
Yeah, that is when we start taking back the narrative as Africans, and we get to tell the stories now.
There's Maripay!
And that narrative starts with the understanding that we are not just part of a complex now, there has been a complex past as well. We just never saw it because all this time we've been looking down instead of looking up. For CBS Mornings, Deborah Patter, Cradle of Humankind, South Africa.
What a fascinating story.
Just a mind-blowing story. That scientist who lost 50 pounds so he could get down and shit into that little cave, and then he looks up and he sees that there's fire evidence on the ceiling.
To understand,
But that's dedication, Lucy.
Dedication. That's what, hey, whatever motivates you.
Yes.
just to understand human evolution, to understand that as we all originated from this cradle of civilization in Africa, from the very first proto-human Australopithecus afarensis to these new discoveries that they're finding is remarkable.
Okay, Mr. Scientist over there. What was that word?
Australopithecus afarensis is one of the...
Did you see how that just flowed off of his tongue?
There was Africanus, and then of course we get into the Homo erectus, Homo habilis.
Tony,
I really hope you got it.
What'd you say? You speaking English?
Low-tones.
I mean, I'm an anthropology nerd amongst the nerding of other
And
things.
we turn yet another page in the Book of
Yes,
Vlad.
I know.
Come on, Barb.
Vlad, I got some stuff for you, buddy. If you're an anthropologist, come on down.